One of the first things that I would do in setting up a sway, I think it needs a lot of planning. I would plan which sections I want to have in my final product. So obviously you're going to have your title section. It's almost like the front cover of a book. And after that, you're really planning your chapters. That's probably the best way of thinking about it. And to decide what to actually implement your chapters, you use this green cross, the white and green cross. When you click the cross, it asks you to make some suggestions about what it is you want to insert next. So on the left, you've got heading. So that would just recreate another heading like the title page. Your other option is to insert text. The other might be to have an image. The fourth here is to create a stack of images. And this one here on the end is to upload something from your device. So these are the stock standard kinds of things that you would implement. So they're your standard things that you can select from. You can narrow it down. If you're really looking to do text, you've got to make a decision about whether it's a heading followed by text or just a text box. The third option here on the top is a media option. Again, it includes the option of inserting an image, but you can also insert video that you have saved on your desktop, for example, or even YouTube clips. You can insert audio. You can embed other Microsoft things within the Sway, or you can upload something already saved on your desktop or in your OneDrive. The other option we'll come to later. It's about grouping boxes and grouping images, but we will save that for later. So we go back to suggested. My idea here is to create the major headings for our end product, and I'm thinking that I'd want to have a section on an introduction, one for each of the dimensions, and then maybe a concluding section. So I would go heading 1. Heading 1 would be Introduction to Cambodia. The next major heading that I would want would be on my first dimension, so I might choose a mythological dimension. Remember, we can always come back and change these names. We can come up with something much more clever than the basic titles. But let's just get the series of headings down. The next one I would choose would be the doctrinal dimension. And the last dimension, perhaps the ethical dimension. And then you could have concluding comments. So they're going to be my major chapters or sections. Now remember, each of these sections would have a different combination of material contained within it. Remember, we're being asked to include a PowerPoint, a screencast, a YouTube clip, and written text. So we've got to make a decision, and all of this happens in the planning. It doesn't happen at this stage. Everything should be planned really well before the Sway is visited. But let's have a look at how we might then continue to populate. We have our very basic outline here. Now we've got to populate it, put the information in, put the images in, and then we can have a play with that later. So that will be the next video.